Now, welcome to part 4 of Ekulaw's special analysis on what happened in Kuje this morning. Where did the inmates go? 1,000 of them escaped the prison compound in the middle of the night. Where could they have gone? And who are these people? Government says 600 escaped. We say more than that escaped. Government indicates that they have been able to recapture about 300 inmates from the nearby bushes. That makes sense. And that's what we're about to talk. Where the inmates went after they left the prisons. Did they just stay in the bushes? But also government is indicating that none of the Boko Haram suspects, none of those terrorist suspects in the prison had been recaptured. So they successfully escaped. Okay. Kuje was designed and built in an outskirt of Abuja city. But over the years, the city expanded until you now have the prison itself almost in the center of a city center. Or rather, the center of the city of Kuje. So Kuje development and human habitation proceeded to a point where you can now say that the Kuje itself is surrounded by development and human habitation. Even at that, if you escape from Kuje prison suddenly as an inmate, you have a number of obstacles. One, if you start running from prison, you will have to run several miles before you could get to a point where you could take a taxi or a bus or a car. And for you to do that, you have to have money to pay your way, and you have to know where to go. Ordinarily, many inmates will not have money. Majority of them will not have money, but some of them will have a whole lot of money. So, an escaping inmate is going to face a number of challenges. To get to a major street from the prison area, if you walk in the street during the gunfire, exchange of gunfire, or whatever was there, you would have taken a risk of being hit. So, a rational inmate will try to avoid the roads, the streets, and then to enter into the street. It will be a long walk. And this happening so late at night, there will be no vehicles. The streets will be deserted. It will be easy to be spotted. So, unless someone knew you were escaping and made an arrangement and brought a vehicle to take you, you may not go far from the prison before you are caught. As far as we can say or estimate about the Boko Haram members, they must have known, planned it, they must have known who they were looking for, they must have had vehicles to take them out, which made it possible for all of them to disappear and none had been caught. Also, if you are an inmate from another state or another part of the country, not familiar with that area, you really don't know Kuje. Because what happened to you was you were arraigned in court in Abuja one day and the judge remanded you in prison and they put you in a bus and took you all the way to prison. You really wouldn't know much about the geography of the area. So if released from Kuje, you will be at a loss where to go. You may not be able to reach your family members. You may not be able to get help. So if you are not a member of a gang, and you wouldn't know who to call, who could come in the middle of the night with a vehicle and take risk of getting you out, you will end up in nearby bushes. And that was exactly where those 300 people the government said they've recaptured and brought back would have been, nearby bush. The real people who had the means and wherewithal to escape had made the escape. Some of these inmates, if they were Boko Haram of our ISIS fighters, they're already in Nigeria right now. These guys, from my assessment, were well-trained combatants, skillful, they move fast. So they would have left and proceeded in their planned directions, and some of them will be out of Nigeria by this moment, but certainly out of Abuja. They will melt into the wilderness, rejoining bandits, rejoining Boko Haram. So what happened is, the terrorists have demonstrated extraordinary capability way beyond the Nigerian forces to move into the prison, extract their men, and disappear in the night, dominate the space, the battle space for 6 hours, and not even a single terrorist was captured or killed. At least none has been reported to have been captured or killed. What a successful, masterful commando operation. It's a mockery of the Nigerian law enforcement. It's the mockery of the Nigerian military. If they could conduct this operation so successfully in the capital city of Nigeria, what would it take these people to attack? What would it take them to assault any center? If they could get into Kuje, successfully mount such an operation, that's incredible. It means really that if Boko Haram members want to attack any fortification in Nigeria, be it as a rock, be it the National Assembly, be it the Supreme Court premises, these men have the firepower, have the logistics, have the capacity and intelligence to move in, attack, extract anybody they want to extract, and disappear successfully. That is incredible. Listen, it's a tragedy, I know. I cry for my country. But also I will tell you that I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because our country has been on the path of decay, a path of corruption and compromises, such that you cannot tell who is for you or who is against you. You cannot tell who fights for the state or who fights against the state. The incident in Kuje today is exceptional by any stretch. Indeed, in a movie, it will still be stretching reality. But now it is reality. Now, we're going to ask a question. Those inmates who did not know about these things, who were opportunistic escapees because they just saw an opportunity, and bolted off. They won't go far. Some of them will be running around in their slippers. Some will be running barefooted, poorly dressed, no money in their pocket, no phones for contacts. How far can they hide? So we will expect that about 70% of the ordinary opportunistic escapees that will be caught and be brought back to prison and will be detained in prison. How do they catch them? Will there be casualty? Do they shoot some people? That is one thing Nigeria will not tell you. Nigerian government will not admit that they shot people. But I can tell you that they will use extreme brutality on any inmate they capture. And they will kill some. No doubt. So the casualty figures remain unknown and may never be known. Nigerian government will never tell you the truth when it comes to the number of people shot. They won't even tell you the truth when it comes to the number of their own men shot and killed. We will ask now, how does this affect law enforcement? How does this development in Kuje affect cases that are pending in courts? Remember, 80% of Kuje inmates are awaiting trials. That means they are being taken to court every time they have to appear in court. Courts will now be waiting for the accused person to appear, and the accused person will no longer appear because the accused had escaped. And what are the implications for the courts? What will it take the government to find out really the true figure of people affected? That is the next next part of this special report.